Well, thanks for coming back, and I am so proud, Lynn, so proud to be able to share with everyone someone who has been on my student advisory committee for 4 years now. She's a senior at Kingwood Park High School, back from spending a lot of time last school year, her junior year, in Washington, D.C. as a congressional page to Senator Coryn. Coryn Levine. Coryn was only one of 30 high school juniors selected for the program out of the country for last school year. So Coryn, it is great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited.
Well, you are very, very welcome. To me, I think the most interesting thing is how you decided, first of all, how you found out about this program and what you did.
Well, as you know, I actually did it during the summer. There's this thing that Humboldt ISD offers, which you're very familiar with, known as Bridges. I can hear counselors already cheering that I said that.
Absolutely.
It was during the summer. I got bored one day, and I just went on there, you know, looking for my future. And under law, because I actually want to be a corporate lawyer when I get older, it said things to do. And one of them was be a Senate page. I did my research, and in that very same afternoon, I just sent an email to my senator, just stating some of the things that I'm really interested in it. And like 4 or 5 months later, this was during the school year, we were going into like the holiday breaks, I got a phone call and they said, are you still interested in doing the Senate Page program? I was like, you gotta be kidding. This is like some prince in Arabia trying to like spam me. But no, it was for real. And I said, yeah, of course. And so I got home from school that day and I was like, hey Mom, I'm going to DC for 6 months. You all right with that? She had no idea that I did it. I didn't even think it was going to happen. So I went through the process. It lasted like 2 weeks. I got a phone call Thursday morning. I remember I was out in the parking lot on the phone with the representative from Coryn's office, screaming my head off so much that I scared our varsity head coach, football team. And he's like a big guy, so I was kind of like laughing a bit, but I was so happy. So that's how I found it, all through the Bridges program. Who would have known?
Right,
Yeah.
And all on your own.
Yeah, I didn't have any help doing it. Not even my parents knew.
That's right.
Well, it's a testament, first of all, to your doing something different, going outside the box of something you're used to, but also that's a great honor to be chosen, because only a few students were chosen. Mm-hmm. The program has gone through its changes through the years.
Oh, yes.
You know, it was eliminated for a while. It's been back. Mm-hmm. Tell us what you did in D.C. What were your duties as a page?
Well, my main duties kind of pertain to the Senate chamber itself. So I set up the chamber. If there were going to be any votes or anything, you know, they actually have their own subway station, which I'm really jealous about. So some people had to stay near the subway, and they had to make sure, you know, senators were going to vote, because it's very imperative that they do that. And so also you had to carry legislation. So one of a very popular, well, very famous legislation was Obamacare. So when that went through the Senate, people had to make sure that went where it was supposed to go. So big bills like that. Also, I was there for the gun legislation. So that was critical that we made sure that that legislation went where it was supposed to go and no one else got to see it. So setting up the chamber, carrying legislation, oh, and helping senators. My senator was Senator Coryn. I didn't get a lot of one-on-one time, but he is so busy. He was just elected minority whip. Huge privilege. He's a great guy. And so I actually had some lunches with him. I got to meet other people. So I guess those are kind of like the main things that you do as a page.
Great.
You know, Coryn, the experiences you shared with me, you could just go on and on. It was amazing, but let me press you. Okay. So could you identify and share what's the one really memorable experience that's just going to stay with you for life?
You know which one I'm going to talk about too.
Well, now you know why I asked the question.
All right, so it was during the filibuster with Rand Paul, you know, the missile strike, the zone strike, I don't even remember exactly, but so we had to be there very late. It was our shift. We thought we were actually going to get out early that day. And instead, we were there till like past midnight, like 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. And of course, the TV cameras were on. We still had our responsibilities. And so I snuck away. Everyone got to sneak away because we were all exhausted. And I just roamed around the Capitol building. The cops let me go wherever I wanted to go. I got privileges to go places that no one's probably been able to go without an officer with them. And I went into the rotunda. And it was the most beautiful place at night. The lights are all aglow. Yes. It's kind of eerie, but it's surreal. It's beautiful. Nobody else was there, so I went into the middle of the rotunda and I just laid on the floor. I laid on the floor and I just sat there for a minute looking at the apotheosis of George Washington. If you haven't seen it, you have to Google it. It's beautiful. And I was just staring at it. And I think I was there for like 20 minutes just stuck in this beautiful picture. Of course, I started hearing boots. I was like, probably not the smartest idea to be laying down on a floor that's rarely cleaned. So I hopped back up and I ran off. But also during that night, I was able to call my mom from the Capitol building. And it scared her so much because all you got on the caller ID was Capitol building. She's like, oh my God, what's going on? IRA, what the heck? And I was like, no, Mom, it's me. So that was also really cool. But that night, I mean, the Pages got to do whatever they want. We got candy. I mean, I could just go on about that night and how the senators were. I got to meet some of the representatives from other parts of Texas. I got to meet other senators, and I made this joke to the Kentucky senator, and I was like, it's weird how the Texas representatives were there first to kind of like support your senator before the Kentucky senators were there, and they kind of laughed at that. So, sorry. But funny stuff like that happened, so I'm never going to forget that night.
Oh, well, just
nice.
Yeah, once in a lifetime experience.
Oh, yeah, who gets to lay on the floor of the rotunda without getting trampled on?
You did your schooling while you were there.
Yeah, goodness. Oh.
Georgetown professors.
Yeah, I was taught by professors only. They were from Georgetown, American University, I mean the creme de la creme in Washington, D.C. And so they were very well known, very tough. Sadly, even though I was taking pretty much college courses, I mainly got on-level credit, so my GPA did go down a bit. But, I mean, the rigor, I literally felt like I was in a college class.
That's nice, though.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing.
Good to be exposed to different things like
exactly.
that.
And I feel like it prepared me more than anything for college life. I mean, there was no babying with you being late. Oh, you didn't turn in that assignment? Well, I don't care if you don't care. That kind of thing. And it was very intense. In fact, one person had to leave because of grades, because the grading scale was different. So a 94 to a 100 was an A, and an 85 to a 94 was a B. And if you made anything less than, I believe, if you had like 2 C's, so that's an 84 below, you were gone.
Well, it's good experience for the real world, right?
And really high standards all the way around. Right. Well, they're waving us on. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. But Coryn, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Glad to have you back home. Senior year, and so I'll see you before then. But really looking forward to graduation. And you all stay with us, and we'll be right back.